Hello. How are you doing? Much love. I can go for about an hour here. So, Premier League exposed, completed it, mate. This league is completely coded. It has nothing to do with the talent of the players. It has nothing to do with the quality of the coaching. It has everything to do with the code. Simple as that. Okay? And it's not being done by man. So, give me a woo if you can hear me clearly. I think there's a few issues with YouTube today, or at least with my channel. Let me know that you're here in the chat, because I can't see any comments as of now. And I'll break down this Arsenal code, but I ain't going to break it down until I know that there's somebody here listening. There we go, Liam with a woo. Okay? Because I've done these streams before where YouTube just completely cut me off, and I was talking to myself. So, okay, we got a woo from Liam. Right, before I get into this, I want to give a big shout out to Rico on my website. I'm sure he's watching, an incredibly gifted coder. Now, check this out, what he was able to do. I had Arsenal to win. I like Kai Havertz to score. I'll break that down, but I'll give a shout out to Thomas Lockwood, who coded Martinelli to score. Thank you, Lockwood. I know you're always watching. But Rico, who's on my website, who posted this pre-game, he had Odegaard to score. He put out 3 codes. Odegaard to score, open the scoring. I'll tell you why in a moment. Havertz to score, he made it 4-0. And he coded Declan Rice to score. So this is what I'm saying, guys. With my website, it's not just the illusion saying Arsenal are going to win. Oh, he's coded the big favourite again. Got the goal scorers, all of them. But the one that was an own goal, and that was from a Saka cutback who's been taken off now, which was no shock. If you're 5-0 up, you should be taking off your best players. So absolutely no shock whatsoever. So let me break down the Arsenal code, guys. This code was all about coronavirus and the royal family. I've been perfect in the Premier League this game week. What is it, game week 27? All right, perfect. Liverpool won late. Spurs won late. Man City came back and won. Arsenal just cruised it. As soon as they scored the opening goal after 5 minutes, they became like minus 3,300, telling you Sheffield United ain't coming back. So a lot of goals. For whatever reason, Sheffield United have been getting killed at home. Remember Newcastle beat them 8-0? Right after the Sheffield United women's player died, who wore number 8. And there was 8 different scorers for Newcastle. They've been getting absolutely spanked at home. A few other teams have absolutely done them as well. But anyways, let's break this down. And again, they're still playing right now. Will there be more goals? I don't know. I'm sure that Bramall Lane is empty right now, because you start to realize these so-called loyal fans. Last season, Sheffield United fans, you were probably buzzing. I'm sure you never left the stadium early. Now you're getting spanked. Off you go. That's what people do in life. When there's struggles, they disappear, don't they? Can I get a woo? Right, so here we go. The Arsenal code. And then I'll break down the goal scorers. And then I'll break down why I've said I believe that this title race is a 3-horse race that will go to the last game of the season, to the death. 3-horse race, the third horseman's famine, which leads to death. World War III. All right, I think it's going to go to the last game of the season. Between 3 of them, I think that's the first time ever in Premier League history where 3 teams can win it on the final day. And I think these teams are going to keep winning. Unless they're playing against each other, like City are playing Liverpool, I think they're just going to keep winning, to be honest with you. But I'll have to code week by week. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Penshaw. Much love, baby. KBB or KB or K8, can't even see it, is awake. YouTube in many ways does suck, yeah, but it gives me a platform, but it's just that's it. That's the only positive thing I will say about YouTube now. It gives me a platform, and it's definitely easy to function, but financially, it's just a waste of time. So here we go. Let me go into it. This is mental stuff. I like Arsenal to win. Arsenal can get their 19th league win of the season. So now if you see, Liverpool have 19 wins, City have 19 wins, and Arsenal now have 19 wins. Connects to COVID-19, which connects to the Queen. So the first Premier League coach in the Premier League to test positive for COVID-19 was Mikel Arteta. Okay. Arteta was born 26-3, the 26th of March. 263 is the 56th prime. Coronavirus equals 56. COVID vaccine equals 56. King Charles III was coronated, corona-like crown, on 5-6. Just all completely coded. No, I haven't looked into that fight. I haven't looked into it, but maybe I will. Now check this out. COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic on 3/11. 3/11 is the 64th prime number. Today has 64 date numerology pure. It's why the 6th goal was scored by number 4. 31 weeks and 1 day after his birthday. Ben White. White, guys, like the first horseman rides a white horse. He's number 4. How I said Arsenal would stay on 4 draws and 4 losses. Number 4 scores. Supposedly a screamer. Haven't seen it. Bill Gates was born with 64 days left in the year, and he pushed the vaccine. And Sheffield United last played Arsenal on Bill Gates' birthday, leaving 64 days left in the year. Like I said, the 6th goal was scored by number 4. I did this code before. Queen equals 19. And she was first vaccinated for COVID-19 on 1/9, like 19. And she supported Arsenal. And the only Premier League club that's ever sat down and had tea with the Queen was Arsenal during their invincible season, okay, where they went undefeated in the Premier League. The only team that's ever done that is Arsenal. Man City have the record for the most points. They're the Centurions, 100 points. They beat Liverpool's record of 99 points. Obviously, Man United have won more Premier League titles than any other club. Is it 13? With Sir Alex. But Arsenal were the Invincibles. Arsenal connect to war, don't they? The Gunners, Arsenal connects to war. The Cannonball connects to war. And as well, do you remember the Spanish flu? I've told you that Arteta was the first Premier League coach to test positive for coronavirus. Well, he's Spanish. Arteta's Spanish. He used to play for Arsenal as well. I've done a code about that. Crazy stuff. Arsenal can stay on 4 draws and 4 losses in the league. The UK dialing code is +44. The Queen had 4 children, and the Platinum Jubilee lasted 4 days. It's obviously in London, where Arsenal play. Today is 3-4, March the 4th. Sheffield United can stay on 3 wins and 4 draws in the league, like 34. Tom Brady, made his NFL debut exactly 34 years after the Sheffield United coach was born, Chris Wilder. And Brady lost 10-3. 103 is the 27th prime, and this is both teams' 27th league game of the season. This has to be God at this point that is directing me with these codes every single day. Brady made his NFL debut the year of 9/11, and the Queen died 911 days after COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic. Brady's last Super Bowl win was Super Bowl 55, and Arteta can stay on 55 all-time losses. We know Satan equals 55, and Russia invaded the Ukraine on the 55th day of the year, and I think that's one of the reasons why Arsenal signed Zinchenko, the Ukrainian. Hey, Flinny, how you doing, brother? The last time 3 teams had a chance of winning on the last day was in 1986 when Liverpool, Everton and West Ham went into the final Saturday with a chance of winning. Liverpool won. Brilliant. 1986 was the year I was born. It's never happened in the Premier League is what I was saying. It's never happened in Premier League history where 3 teams have a chance of winning the league on the last game of the season. We've had a few times where there's been 2 teams. The most recent one was City and Liverpool, wasn't it? And City won it. They came back from 2-0 down against Villa. They won 3-2. Gundogan was the hero. Liverpool won their game. I think it was against Southampton, but it wasn't enough. But at one point, Liverpool were top of the league, as far as I'm aware. But then City got 3 goals in the last 15 minutes against Steven Gerrard's Villa at the time, who's Liverpool's biggest legend or top 3. Hard to say. Maybe you say Dalglish. Is it Gerrard? Who else can you put in that conversation? Probably between those 2, no? It's hard to say if there's going to be more goals in this because 64 was huge in my code. If they bring Jesus on, which I don't know if they've made all the substitutions, let me check. He has some numbers because of the 34s. All the 34s, it's the 9th Fibonacci number. So if Jesus comes on, or maybe he's already on, I'm looking now. Oh my word, Martinelli got taken off after 64 minutes. All right, Jesus is on. Jesus is on. There's a chance he scores. Only for the 34s that I've seen, Jesus might score. But I saw that Ben White, he made it 6-0, didn't he? And he did it after 58 minutes. And this season, Arsenal are on 5 draws and 8 losses in all competitions. So they might close the scoring with a 58th minute winner. Last goal. Odegaard scored the first goal, number 8, which is why I said Arsenal can get their 19th league win. Their captain's Odegaard. 19 is the 8th prime. That's why he scored first. And that's why I was like, okay, Arsenal have won. Even at 1-0, I was like, they've won. And then the odds were like, they've definitely won. It was just a case of how many they're going to score at this point. So things like that you can see. 19 plus 8, 27. Both teams' 27th game. Just this week in the Premier League, guys, it's honestly been wild how perfect my codes have been. Go read them. Just read them. I'll watch the Liverpool video, the Man City video where I had Foden to score. My Spurs code all about 13, and they came back with 13 minutes left in the game, and the game finished 1-3. Just go and read them. Those 4 codes alone. But again, the average person is just going to say that the favourites, which is one of the frustrating things of doing all of this, that they ignore the code. But again, Rico on my website, guys, this is unheard of. Rico actually, a few weeks ago, he coded before the game Van Dijk to score a header. And Van Dijk scored a header. I was like, wow, okay, I called X, Y, and Z, and it was great. This guy called Van Dijk to score a header. And it's like, that's next level, to be honest. To call somebody to score a header and a centre-half. And calling people like Declan Rice to score today. He don't leave codes for every player, guys. He left them for 3 players, and all 3 of them scored. And the only way that can happen is where you basically destroy a team. So where was I with this code? COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic on the 71st day of 2020. 71's the 20th prime. Sheffield United can get their 20th loss in the league and stay on 13 points. 2013 is when Francis became the Pope. He resides in Italy. Italy was the first European nation hit with coronavirus. Of course it was. Of course it was. Coronavirus pandemic equals 94. Arteta can get his 94th Premier League win. Arsenal can get their 53rd win versus Sheffield United. COVID equals 53. Queen Elizabeth II was coronated in 53. Corona translates to crown. Elizabeth became the Queen at age 25, and Arsenal can get their 25th win in all competitions, and that's why Kai Havertz scored after 25 minutes. He got the 4th goal after 25 minutes, and the Beast of Revelation has permission from God to take out 25% of the earth, a fourth of the earth, and the Nazi Havertz, after 25 minutes, scored the 4th goal, and I had all the 25s in my codes. Sheffield United will concede 100 plus goals at this rate. Again, I don't know how many goals they've already conceded, but I'm aware that they have been killed quite a few times. Let me look at the Premier League table. They've been killed quite a few times. Yeah, they've conceded 72. You'd expect them to concede 28 goals probably in the next, 11 games. They've only scored 22 as well. So they're pretty much down. Burnley are pretty much down. And then it's basically between Luton and Forest. Brentford won't go down. Everton will stay up because they're building a new stadium. So is it going to be the 3 teams that came up that all go down? I said before the season began, I think Forest go down because the Forest fires. You know what I mean? Going down, the trees are coming down. So it's between Luton and Forest. I had Burnley and Sheffield United to go down again. That doesn't mean anything to anybody, and I get that. But I also said Forest, and they're 4 points above Luton. What else did I have? Elizabeth married Prince Philip, who died on the 99th day of the year, leaving 266 days remaining. Sheffield United coach was born on the 266th day of the year, leaving 99 days remaining. And this was my Havertz code. Sheffield United coach's birthday is in exactly 29 weeks, and Havertz wears number 29. And Sheffield United coach can get his 10th loss of the season with them. 29 is the 10th prime. And I know how your boy Havertz connects to that prime number, like heavily. If we go back to the 2021 Champions League final, he was playing for Chelsea, and they met Manchester City in the final, and they shocked the world, and they beat Man City 1-0, and the winning goal was Kai Havertz, number 29. 29, the 10th prime. That is why today, number 29 Havertz has just scored exactly 29 weeks before Sheffield United coach's birthday. And again, coded Havertz. So let me read his codes. Sheffield United versus Arsenal. Arsenal to win. Sheffield United get their 115th Premier League loss all time while playing against Arsenal. Sheffield United Football Club equals 115. Arsenal Football Club equals 115. Now check this out. Martin Odegaard to score. Playing his 111th Premier League match. 11 weeks, 1 day after his birthday, which is the same birthday as Pope Francis. Can score a goal 35 months and 19 days after his first Premier League goal. And 17 days, including end day, after his last one. Goal equals 35, 17, and 19. And to add to his code, Queen Elizabeth was born on the 111th day of the year. Okay, vaccination equals 111. 9/11 occurred with 111 days left in the year. So, boom, he coded Odegaard. It connected with my 19s, the 8th prime. Odegaard scores. Quite a few people took him. Good. You can trust Rico and his codes. You can trust Rico and his codes. Then, Kai Havertz to score, playing 26 Premier League game for Arsenal. I'm going to add to this. Remember, Queen equals 26. She was born in 26. She became the queen on 2/6. She died 2 months and 6 days before King Charles's birthday. Messi won the World Cup 101 days after she died, the 26th prime in his 26 all-time World Cup game. Playing 26 Premier League game for Arsenal, can score 7th goal 267 days after his birthday. All right. 156 days, which is 22 weeks and 2 days after his first Premier League goal for Arsenal. Kai Havertz's goal equals 156, 222. So I'll tell you what Rico does, and for any of you people who like to code, I don't often do this. Maybe I should start doing it. What he does, he codes the date durations between the first goal of the player for a team. So he'll find out when Havertz's first goal was, and he'll do the date duration from that to the game. I think it's really smart. I think it's really smart doing it that way. So it's still 6-0. Like I said, it could easily stay this way because of the 58 last goal after 58 minutes. Arsenal stay on 5 draws and 8 losses. But you never know. You often get a goal in almost every Premier League game after 90 minutes. It wasn't like that when I grew up watching it. But maybe, like I said, maybe Man United would come away with a late winner. But so often, you wouldn't find that to be the case. These games... let me look at how many goals Arsenal have right now. They have 68. Okay, that's huge. Adolf Hitler died span of exactly 68 months after World War II began. All world wars began on 68 day pneumology pure. Revelation 6:8 is about death. Yeah, so it makes sense for them not to score again, but the 69 connects to the Queen. It's tough. I don't know if there'll be another goal here. Queen Elizabeth equals 69. She was coronated exactly 69 weeks after she became the Queen. Who's Arsenal's next game? Brentford. The Bees. They connect to the Queen. The Bees. There's on 3-9, and see Declan Rice scored after 39 minutes, and Rico had him 6 months, 1 day after his first Premier League goal for the club. Declan Rice can score for Arsenal and lead them to 61 points. Declan Rice equals 61. 25 years, 1 month, 19 days after his birth, Arsenal equals 25, 119. And like I said, Lockwood, he called Martinelli. So just crazy stuff. And calling Declan Rice a defensive midfielder to score. Carlos is frustrated because he missed it. That can sometimes happen. So they're playing 5 minutes at a time. Okay. How bad are Sheffield United? Like, I saw that they were starting McBurney. That guy's not even championship quality. He's absolutely awful. And I looked at the squad, Sheffield United's squad. I'm like, how did they even get in the Premier League? Obviously, it's the code. And then they bring back a coach, Wilder, who I think's already been relegated with them. So that made no sense at all. And I'm looking at the squad. I'm like, did they even buy anybody? Why would you go up and not buy anybody? Like, did they just want the so-called money? No, it's just the code. Like, but Declan Rice scored after 39 minutes, guys, and that's the year World War II began. All these 39s, Kobe statue unveiled, 39th day of the year, LeBron breaking all these records at age 39. It's crazy. I've got to figure out why all these top teams are sponsored by airlines, like Emirates Airline. It's Arsenal, it's Real Madrid, I think Man City, PSG, as far as I'm aware, they're sponsored by an airline. I know people just say, well, it's $1 billion industry. It's got to be something that we're missing with planes, guys. Obviously, they were heavily involved with 9/11. There's something with planes. The Wright brothers created planes, I think, back in, is it 1930? It's the 30s, as far as I'm aware. Let me look. The Wright brothers, which is interesting because Ian Wright is one of Arsenal's greatest ever strikers. Wow. Orville Wright, he died 1948 when Israel declared its independence. Wilbur Wright. Who's called Orville and Wilbur? Like, who gave them that name? Did these people exist? I'm always asking that question. Like, from back in the day, did these people even exist? Especially when we go back to like the 1800s. Wait, what? Oh my word! Sheffield United's goalkeeper's number 13, and they're staying on 13 points. And I'm sure they scored an own goal after 13 minutes. That's a big one. Look at the goalkeeper's jersey numbers. Maybe Sheffield United are staying on 13 points for a long time. Who do they play next? Bournemouth. I think I'd just ride Sheffield United to keep getting beat. They might lose all their games. I'll code that Bournemouth Sheffield United game. Yeah, already Bournemouth go to 34 points to get the 9th win, 34, the 9th Fibonacci number. I'm already calling it. Bournemouth beat Sheffield United. I don't know what the odds are. I'm coding that game. It could be because Satan's the prince of the air. Absolutely. But again, going back to the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. Sounds like video game characters or cartoon characters, doesn't it? But I don't know, like, to fly the first plane, you've got to have some balls, haven't you? When it's not been proven. Crazy, man, when you think about it. So, yeah, this is going to finish 6-0. Kobe Bryant, in his last ever game, scored 60 points. You connected to this? Yeah, game over. There you go. 6-0. 13 is the 6 prime number. And Sheffield United stay on 13 points after conceding 6 goals. Pretty wild, guys. Their goal difference is minus 50. So got their 20th loss. They stay in 20th, and COVID was declared a pandemic in 2020, the year Kobe died. It's gobsmacking. They have the matching record as Burnley, 3-4-20. King Charles's favourite team. Which makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense. The burn, like burning hell. Like, it's like, why is Charles, who was the Prince of Wales, who lives in London, support Burnley? I've done a video. I can't remember what I put together. I figured it out, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, City can win 4 in a row, for sure. I'm just going to go game week by game week. I will code that Man City Liverpool game because that's huge. I believe that is really, really big. I did a code the other day. If you watch NASCAR, give me a woo. Ronaldo did lose today, 1-0, which is just a joke. That league is a joke in general. If you watch NASCAR, the winner of the last race, all right, his last name is Suarez, like Luis Suarez. And he won the race. He got 47 points, the 15th prime. And Luis Suarez is the 15th all-time leading goal scorer for Liverpool. And Suarez, the NASCAR driver, his car's number 99. And Liverpool just won after 99 minutes. And the only Premier League title they've won, they got 99 points. So I'm seeing things like that. Like, am I just seeing this? Am I just making these wild connections that are irrelevant? Because it's really interesting how Suarez won the NASCAR, number 99. And then he's obviously from Uruguay. I'm just connecting this right now. Hey, Connie, just connecting this right now. Suarez won the NASCAR. All right. Luis Suarez is from Uruguay. Nunes is from Uruguay. And Nunes scored the winning goal for Liverpool after 99 minutes. That is insane. Did Liverpool win the league with Suarez? They didn't, did they? Can somebody help me with that? They didn't. They won the league with Salah and Mane and Firmino. There was no Suarez, were there? Suarez was when they were going to win it and they bottled it. They were 3-0 up against Palace. They drew 3-3. They had the Gerrard slip. Yeah, that wasn't Suarez when they won the league. That was before. It was Salah, Firmino, Mane, where they were unbeatable because of the code together. So yeah, I wanted to show you this. I'm actually playing football tonight. We'll see how it goes. The actual team that I'm playing for right now, currently, because I just said yes without knowing anything about them, they're absolutely dreadful. They're just dreadful. So I'm having to approach it as just go work out, Adam. Obviously, you'll score goals and enjoy it. But they're awful, man, and it's tough. It's tough, man, to play football with people that can't play. But they're all really cool guys. They're all nice. So I'm not that excited. But shall I show you my new boots, baby? Hi, Adam. After 2 weeks, I've running water today after my water... Your water what? Your water tank blew? Can't see it because there's a love water main blew. Awesome. That's brilliant. I've had days where I don't have water. I live in the desert, and it can really affect you. We take for granted water. We take for granted having showers. We take for granted being able to wash our plates up. We just do. Hans, God bless you, brother. Thank you. Just seeing you in the chat. So it's not boots. It's more like... I never bought any new football shoes for like 7 years. So I'm not a big timer. When I was a kid, I was. Now I'm not, but I've got these new ones. I spent a bit of money on them. So yeah, these bad boys, they were expensive. They were like $90, which is silly from me, really. But oh, they smell like... So they're Predators. And I'm not getting them thinking I'm going to bend it like Beckham. They only have 3 choices. Where I live, there's hardly any places you can buy clothes. So I had to go to a place called Innova Sport, and there were 3 options. And they were all around the same price. So unless I was going to go on Amazon, I refused to shop on Amazon. I thought, I can buy these. I just made this from coaching in 1 hour. Just buy some shoes. You're going to wear them. You're coaching a lot more now, so invest. So I don't really buy myself anything when it comes to clothing. As you see, I'm always wearing this. I've had this vest. This vest I'm wearing, I think I've had it about 7 years. To be honest with you. Unless it's completely... I'm not saying like I'm a tramp or anything. I'm not going to go around with a vest that's got rips in it and stains everywhere. It's like... I got a lot of friends that are constantly buying new clothes, and I don't know why, man. They don't even need it. Mbappe sits down to pee. I'm sure he does. What do you do if your new teammates are new ages? I don't really speak to them, brother. Like my English is obviously great, but my Spanish is average, and they don't speak any English. So you're not going to see the illusion turn up to a footy game tonight and start talking about the new age. I'll tell you one thing that winds me up. is, I don't know what it is with Mexico. Guys, the ball that we play with, obviously a size 5, it's a rock. I don't know why they play with these balls, man. They're so hard. It's really hard to like spray a diagonal pass. It's like a rock. I'm like, why do you play with these? Like, I don't know if there's any Mexicans in the chat. You play with soccer balls that are so hard, you can barely even kick them. Honestly, it does. If you go to ping it, you could break your foot. So I'm having to play these little ticky-tacky passes, but players are not good enough to give me it back. So it's like, if I want to play a ball over the top, may as well just risk breaking my toe. Honestly, guys, if you knew what I'm talking about, I'll try to get a little video. The video won't do it justice because you're not going to know how hard the ball is, but kind of, man, it's annoying. One of the other reasons why I play is because one of my best friends plays. He's from Texas, so I get to see him. But yeah, all my games are on AstroTurf, so this is perfect. We don't have grass here because it's a desert, so this will be ideal. Literally, my other shoes, they were starting to get a hole in the front of them. I thought, Adam, what are you doing? You're a football coach, you're best player in this league, and you've got shoes with holes in. You've got money. What are you doing? I just had one of those moments. Just buy some shoes. Jeez. You refuse to buy from Amazon. Good for you. Hey, Adam, could you please explain about footballers not owning anything they have? What is the black card? So I talk more about rappers with this than footballers. I'm not sure how it works with footballers, but with rappers, they have a black card. So they don't really own anything. It can be taken away from them at any point, including the houses and the cars and all of that. Like, they basically, the record label will give them a car. And then if they drop you from that label, they'll say, we want the car back. It's in the contract. That house we've given you, we can take it back from you. So then what happens is, if you have these contracts, Satan has you like completely by the balls. It's like, okay, if you want another album, if you want this, if you want to go touring, you need to do this, this, and this. And then they'll do it because they don't want to lose everything. At least what they think is everything, which is not everything, but to them it is. So they're not making as much money as you think. I think that's to make you worship them and to make you, especially as a child, like look up to them in the sense of, I want to be a footballer. I want to make $250,000 a week playing football. They're not making that. They're really not making that at all. At all. Gene, if I head the ball like bullet header, you won't see me again. If I head that ball tonight, like, and it's coming at me at pace, unless I glance it, if I hit it full on, I'm knocked out. I'll get knocked out. I've just got a headache thinking about it. I've just got a headache thinking about heading this ball. Like, even when I started juggling the ball, it's just something I do to warm up. Started juggling the ball. Honestly, I thought I was just going to break both of my feet because I go left, right, left, right, left, right. I might buy a ball and say, hey, guys, just buy a Nike ball, Adidas ball, one of those decent ones, but they're expensive, and say, can we play with this? Can we play with this so we're not kicking around a rock? Please. It's already bad enough that you're all shit. Now I'm going to get my foot broken and I get fouled every time I get the ball. It's like, what am I even doing? So let's see what Sky Sports is saying. Let's see what Sky Sports is saying about this game. They always give away clues for future games. Sometimes I add up all the timing of the goals and I find out a code in it, but I can't be bothered adding up 6 different goals off the top of my head. What's it saying? Arsenal went 5 goals ahead of Sheffield United by the 39th minute, which is the earliest an away side has had a 5-goal margin in Premier League history. Okay. Arsenal are just the second side in top flight history to score 5+ goals in 3 successive away league games. There's your 53 I had in my code. After Burnley in September 1961, they just got to 61 points. Well, they're the first side in English League football to win 3 successive away games by 5+ goals. Sheffield United, the first side in English football, top 4 tiers, to concede 5+ goals in 4 successive home games in all competitions. This is the 4th time this season that Sheffield United have lost a home game by at least 5 goals, becoming the first side in top flight history to do so. All these 4s, guys, the last goal of the game was by number 4, and Arsenal stayed on 4 draws and 4 losses in the league. Saka registered his 50th assist for Arsenal in all competitions. He's just the 6th different Premier League player to register at least 50 goals and assists in all competitions after Mohamed Salah, Son, Bruno, Riyad Mahrez, and KDB. Martin Odegaard has scored 17 Premier League away goals for Arsenal. The only midfielder netting more such goals in the competition during that time is James Ward-Prowse. It's interesting. Gabriel Martinelli, who Lockwood coded to score, both scored and assisted in a Premier League game for the 4th time. With this, the 2nd time he's done it in an away game. 42 right there. Kai Havertz, who I like to score, number 29, exactly 29 weeks before Sheffield United coach's birthday, has both scored and assisted in each of his last 2 Premier League games for Arsenal, becoming the first player for the Gunners, like War, shooting, is German, to do so in successive matches in the competition since Henrik Mkhitaryan in February 2019. Kai Havertz's 25th minute strike and Arsenal's 4th goal of the game was the 150,000th scored in England's top flight. Guys, I said Arsenal would get a 25 win in all competitions and stay on 4 draws and 4 losses in the league. And it's saying Kai Havertz's 25th minute strike and Arsenal's 4th goal of the season, 4th goal of the game was the 150,000th scored in England's top flight. Jayden Bogle's own goal was the 5th time Sheffield United have put the ball through their own net in the Premier League this season. How's that? 5 times they've put it in their own goal. Well, they've got to work on defending players getting to the byline. Clearly what's happening there, players are getting to the byline, cutting it back, and Sheffield United players are kicking it in their own goal because they're not in control. Arsenal win 6-0, 49ers host Super Bowl 60. Premier League founded same day Golden Gate Bridge opened. That's brilliant. The 49ers do connect to Arsenal. Arsenal obviously went 49 games undefeated. They are heavily synced up. Adam, I figured out that when men started creating roads, they invented the concept of dinosaurs to disprove the bones of giants they were uncovering. I believe that's true. We know there's the Nephilim in the Book of Enoch. I don't see anything about dinosaurs. So yeah, dinosaur bones are really the bones of Nephilim. I could agree with that. I'll never be able to prove it, but that makes more sense to me than dinosaurs, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll let you know how this game goes. And again, all the people on the website, thank you. The new people, thank you. Let's just keep pushing with this. Special thank you to Rico today. Cheers, Lockwood. I need to get off. I've got a few things to do. I have a bit of stomachache. I had this Thai shrimp curry last night, and it was really delicious. So much flavor, maybe too much flavor. Stomach's a bit all over the show. I'm telling you, if somebody kicks that ball at my stomach, I'll shit my pants. Somebody kicks that rock at my stomach tonight, because it's happened a few times with me because I close down the defender and I'm sprinting to close it down and they've kicked it in my stomach or my face, one time in my bollocks. If they get me in the stomach tonight with that rock, I'm telling you, shit will come out. I'll be wearing dark shorts, though. We've got a dark blue jersey. So it's not all bad. I remember one time I got concussed playing semi-professional. Guy pinged it in my face as hard as he could. He didn't mean to do it. I saw stars. And I remember I tried play. I got back up. I was like that. And the ball was coming towards me. And I saw like 20 balls. They're like, are you okay? Are you okay, Edders? I'm like, well, yeah. So they took me off. Fuming. Concussed. Smashed in the face. Really, really annoyed. I tried to play with it. I could literally not see the ball, and I was still saying I was fine. That's love of the game, guys. That's not just playing for money. Do you still play FPL? I reckon you could be in the top 50. I was brilliant at FPL. I don't anymore. I was already great at it before, brother. Before the illusion and the coding, I had a gift with the FPL. I was always great at it. I just was. My mate Mark Beard's even better than me. It was always him and I who were first and second. And he's always in the top 500 every year. He lives in the US now, but he's from Lancashire. I think he's from Accrington, around Accrington area. And him and I, would kill it. The reason I don't play FPL anymore, I explained it because my friends were gutted because I left all the groups. I said, I'm not playing it because what I'll do is I'm going to cheer. That's why I stopped. It was that. So I'm going to cheer on Haaland. I'm going to cheer on, for example, Martinelli tonight. I probably would have had him in my fantasy team. I told all my mates, put Foden in your team before the season began. So when Foden got those 2 goals against United, I know who I am. And if I was still playing FPL, I'd have gone, get in there. And I don't want to give my energy to these players. So I stopped. I also don't want to go back and forth in group chats with people anymore. I got enough people that bother me. I don't want to go back. Do you know what I mean? Oh, yes, there we go. Declan Rice bangs. Boom. That's a differential in my squad. It's like, I don't care anymore. So I enjoyed it. I can see why people really, really like it. Much love, Austin. Woo! I can completely see why people play it. But Fantasy Premier League, the whole Premier League is fantasy. Flinny, what am I reading out, mate? I can't see it. Oh, I've read out the last 3 teams. Flinny, what am I reading out? Have you just texted me? Did you text me it? Because my phone's... Where's my phone? Oh, my phone's here. Let me check. He texted me. Flinny texted me. See what he's saying. You see this picture here? It's the Liverpool players protesting about Arsenal's first goal in that famous Arsenal 2-0 win. The most prominent players moaning are numbers 7, 2, 5 and 4. This adds up to 18. And this was Arsenal's first title in 18 years. So here's the image he's talking about. Okay. And he's got an image here. Oh, it's hard to show you here. I remember this game where Arsenal went to Anfield and won 2-0. They had to win by 2 goals to win the league, and they won 2-0. This here is a picture of substitute Martin Hayes wearing 14, celebrating with Michael Thomas, number 4, who got that second goal. 14 and 4 is 18. I'm going to add to your code, Flinny. For Arsenal, of course, they have a great riddle. I've shared it. Arsenal can get their 14th league title and their 4th Premier League title. The 14-4. The Elizabeth line, in regards to the tube, it opened on the 144th day of the year. My birthday's 14-4. Arsenal's 2 goals came after 52 and 92 minutes. Add the individual numbers. 5 plus 2 equals 9. Okay. 5 plus 2 plus 9 plus 2 equals 18. That's crazy. One more for you on that game. So once again, this was 1989. Remember, that's when the 49ers won the Super Bowl. It's the year of the Hillsborough disaster with Liverpool. the year Taylor Swift was born as well. So once again, this was 1989. These numbers add up to 27. And when Thomas scored, the beginning of the celebration included Martin Hayes 14, Thomas number 4, and Alan Smith number 9. All these numbers come to 27. And what's more incredible is that these three celebrating represents the year that they're winning it. And Smith 9 peels away from 14 and 4, confirming once more that it's Arsenal's first in 18 years. This is, see, like the way people always talk about my mind, how gifted my mind is. What Flinny did there, I can't do. Do you know what I mean? That's why I like my website. There's different minds. We throw stuff out and we help each other. When I put out a code, Lockwood or Rico will find a goal scorer through my numbers that I've shared. We help each other. But that's incredible. So yeah, Flinny's going back to 1989 there. I was only 3 years old. I know that. I've seen the game. I think Arsenal's goalie was John Lukic, from what I remember. And Liverpool fans, they came into that. They were unbelievable at home. They had the best defence in England. All they needed to do was make sure they didn't lose by 2 or more goals. And they lost 2-0 in the 92nd minute. So that was one of the few times where teams would win with dramatic goals. Now it's every week, it seems. That it's not really like dramatic anymore. It's become normal. So yeah, Flinny, that's great stuff. Really is. Got the pleasure of watching Oprah live stream this morning. My word, I haven't laughed that hard in a good while. You know what? My sister said that. My sister watches some of my work. She can't process the numbers, but when I call out Oprah or Hollywood, she understands it. If you notice with Oprah, I barely said anything about numbers. Yeah, there were one time during the Oprah video, I cried in laughter, not at my own self. It's what she had to say about the flow. And I couldn't get it out because of how ridiculous it was. I couldn't actually speak. Just how cringeworthy it was. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, the Oprah stream, if I have time this week, I'm going to do one about Joe Rogan. I'm going to explain why he's so popular, why he's the most watched and listened to podcast, and why he became so famous and what he pushes. So I'll do Rogan next. I'm not going to have time to do one every single day. Hey, Ahmad. Oh, Ahmad. You were 16, Flinny. Yeah, so you'll recall it. You probably have a better memory than me of it. I was a little child, but again, back in the day, I was obsessed with football. I would always watch the Italia 90 World Cup video that my dad had all the time. And again, obviously that took place when I was 4 years old. I show people the numbers and the codes. They said it's depressing them. I understand. I completely understand. It will do that. If you fully come to grasp with it at the beginning and accept it, it will depress you. No doubt, it did to me. I'm not a guy who's grown up with depression. When I fully accepted this code, it hurt me. It hurt me hard. It broke me for a while. I'll be honest with you. I told you I love the Premier League, Champions League, Hollywood, the world of entertainment. I loved it. I did. I'll say I loved it. Or at least I thought I did. And it broke me for a while. Now I'm fine. I don't need it. I'm playing football tonight. I don't need to watch football. I have a different mindset about the world. I can still exercise. I've got a beautiful girlfriend. I don't need TV to entertain me. I like to read. I like to write. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But when you send the code to people and they start going, whoa, it will depress them. The truth hurts. That saying is for things like this. So ideally, you want to believe today that Arsenal beat Sheffield United because they're the better team. And they scored early, so Sheffield United's confidence was hit, and Arsenal are playing really well. That's what you want to. That's just easy and comfortable. You don't want to believe that they won in a coronavirus riddle. You don't want to believe that. You don't want to process that. You just want to go, Arsenal are better, they won. Done. Over. It shouldn't depress people because it's incredible. You liked it to make it 23. It shouldn't, yeah. The word of God shouldn't offend people, but it does. It's hard, Flinny. If you've completely been unaware of the code, you have the gift. You have the mind, Flinny. God's given you that gift. You see things that the average person can't see. You've accepted it. Now, the average person can't see this, and it's hard to accept something you can't understand. That's why I've stopped forcing it down people's throats. I have a following. It's decent enough of people who get it. I receive some beautiful emails every day. I'm very grateful for those people. People like Austin who messages me and gives me that motivation to keep putting out this content. I get a lot of emails, so I appreciate you. I don't just ignore them. I always respond. I don't take them for granted. It is tiring doing all of this. Like I say, I don't even bet. I would definitely have bet today on that game if I bet. But there's always another game, you know what I mean? There's always another game. You're never content when you bet. You win and you're like, okay, there's a game in the US, NBA. Have you got an NBA pick, Illusion? Okay, what about a hockey pick? Are you doing the Champions League game tomorrow? It's like, it's never ending. So that's why I don't bother with it. One of the many reasons I don't bother with it. There you go, Flinny. You've admitted it messed up your head. It did me. I don't think there's anyone who just processed it instantly and it didn't affect them in any negative way, the code. Now, for me, it's led me to God. That's my journey with the code. It's led me to God. It's nothing greater. Nothing greater than that for me. So thank you to God for this code, even though people say it's the devil or it's man, it's the occult. Whoever it is, it led me to God. You know what I mean? Whoever's behind it, it led me to God. Possibly, Ahmed, possibly. With my code about 25-4 for Arsenal, and they scored the fourth goal after 25 minutes, and it was a German, and my code connected to COVID and war and the Queen. I'm like, there's no way that they've planned that. Like, I haven't seen the Havertz goal, but say he's through on goal. What if he missed the target? What if the keeper saved it? I don't know. What if he slipped? But he scored after 25 minutes to get the fourth goal. It's in my code beforehand, the 4 and the 25. Science and quantum physics led me to God. Again, whatever it is that leads you to the one true God, whatever it may be, whether it's science, quantum physics, the code, whether it's a divorce, whether it's a near-death experience, whether it's you've been abused, whether it's just God's grace, whatever it is that's led you there, be grateful. We all have different testimonies, guys. Again, like with coding, we all code differently. People might be inspired by people, but we all have our own like unique style of coding because we have different minds, guys. What do you think about Premier League flops? Do you think they refuse to sell out? It's a great question. It's either that or it's their code. So I know exactly what you're talking about. There's been many players that have come over to the Premier League. They couldn't perform and they were great everywhere else. Let's do that little game before I go. Name some players that came into the Premier League with an incredible reputation that didn't deliver. Falcao, Di Maria. Can you think of that right before I go? Players that came into the Premier League with a massive reputation and they didn't really do anything. Soldado had a big reputation. He did nothing. Harry Kane took his place at Spurs team. Trying to think if there's any more. A lot of them come over and they do well. But there's a lot of players. there's a lot of players that have an amazing season and then they disappear. So again, is that because they didn't play along? Was it just their code? Like Michael Ricketts 1 year for Bolton. It was unbelievable. And he got an England call-up and then he just disappeared. Kevin Phillips. He had a Premier League season where he just absolutely dominated it. Who else is there that's coming to Premier League? Great reputation, not really done a lot. I don't think Veron did much at Man United when I watched him. He had a huge reputation. I can't think. I'm running out. Oh wow! You just said Veron, just like Alexis Sanchez at Man United. That was very strange. Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal was remarkable. So again, maybe they have numbers with certain clubs, because there's strikers who always score against certain teams, and there's strikers who can't score against certain teams. They call them their bogey team. There must be something with the code why they can't score or why they always score against a team. Shearer always scored against Everton. All the time. Rooney always scored against Newcastle. Mario and Luigi. What? I can't think of any other players really that came over, massive reputation, didn't do anything, or were like flops. We've had players who were flops at clubs, like what's his name? Werner. I think he still won Champions League, but Werner was dreadful at Chelsea. He came in with a big reputation. He didn't do anything for them. Torres, when he went to Chelsea, was, again, he won Champions League with them, but he was so good at Liverpool, Torres. He was so good at Liverpool. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better striker than Torres when he was at Liverpool. My word, he used to be in my fantasy teams. Torres, lightning, strong. He could finish right and left. Unbelievable in the air, so strong. He had great footwork. It was just immense. And he was so poor at Chelsea. Remember when he rounded the United keeper and he missed an open goal? I don't know at that level how you're missing open goals, like Haaland yesterday. Balotelli. I always thought Balotelli was just crazy overrated. I just think for whatever reason, Satan wanted him in the headlines. I don't think he was ever that good. He just had a character about him. I don't think he was that good, Balotelli. Drogba, he always scored against Arsenal. Drogba would always score in finals as well. Drogba always found a way of scoring in finals. Rush couldn't score against Man United. Didn't know that. Crespo's a great example. There we go. Hernan Crespo, crazy reputation. He was so poor at Chelsea. Then he went to AC Milan. He was really good again. Shevchenko was really poor at Chelsea. What was the other Chelsea striker? He came in with a massive reputation, and he was really poor. What's his name? 10 points for anybody who gets this. Yeah, Michu had that incredible season, and then he just disappeared. Swansea was so good, guys, for 2 years. Swansea were unbelievable. Adi Akinbaye was superb. How that guy made it to the Premier League. He was semi-pro at best. And Trevor Benjamin. Those two up front, that was Satan just having a laugh. Trevor Benjamin, Adi Akinbaye were Leicester City strikers. They were absolutely awful. Awful. And they're playing the same team. Guys, I'm trying to think of that. What was his name? That Chelsea striker. He played in Holland. I think he played for PSV. Pretty short. Black hair. Oh, his name was on the tip of my tongue. Huntelaar, no. He was an all right striker. I was never that impressed by him. Big, strong striker. Good in the air. I don't think he was world class. What was his name? He was short. Kuzman. Kuzman? Can somebody back me up? Kuzman. I can't remember his first name. I might be pronouncing this wrong. Is it Kuzman? Kezman. Serbian. Do you remember Kezman? He was like brilliant, Kezman. And he signed for Chelsea and he was dreadful. Like really bad. He couldn't score. And then they even gave him a penalty and he missed. Yeah, he's Serbian. Divine, great knowledge. Serb, yeah. He played in Holland. I think he played in Spain. And he was really good at one point. Who else is there that's gone to a club and not delivered? I want to think of a few more before I leave. Calvin Phillips, I don't think he's world class or great, but he did nothing at Man City. That was just a waste of a time of a move. And now he's gone to West Ham and he's dreadful. Anyone else got any more? Kleb disappeared. Yeah, he was a really good player. Kleb from Belarus, Alexander Kleb. He was quality. His footwork. He was really good. I really rated Kleb. That's it. That's a great show. Was he Bosnian? It's telling me here he's Serbian. Edin Dzeko, Bosnian. It's telling me Kezman was born in Belgrade, Serbia. And his nickname was Batman, wasn't it? They called him Batman. But do you remember when they called Van Persie and Robin Batman and Robin? Is Balotelli still playing? Turkish league. Scored a few screamers, didn't he? Never seen a player look like he don't want to be out there more than him, though. I don't think I've ever witnessed a player who looks like I don't want to be on that pitch more than Balotelli. Has there been any others like that? You watch them like they don't even want to be there. I don't think anyone compares with Balotelli. Wow, man, you're doing a great job. You exposed Man City versus Tottenham 2021 Rig Cup. Thank you. Going back to 2021. I don't remember half of the stuff that I've called. What happened in that game? I can't remember. Nakada, yeah, he was brilliant. That Japanese player. Yeah, he just disappeared, didn't he? He was like the superstar in Japan. Have you noticed Klopp? Every time he's won a league title, he's had a Japanese player. Did you know that? Every time he's won a league title, he had a Japanese player, and he has won again. That's a big thing for Liverpool. Those things do matter. And Japan beat Germany in the World Cup, didn't they? Shocked the world. So again, it's like Klopp needs to have a Japanese player. Why? What's the reason behind it? I know Japan and Germany, they both connect to war and things like that, but it's just deep. Morata did nothing. Didn't he go to Chelsea? What is it with Chelsea? Buying top-class strikers who become shit. Morata, Torres, Kezman, Shevchenko. Is this some sort of curse? Yeah, James Rodriguez is connected to Ancelotti. There's something between those two. Ancelotti coached him at Everton, and then he went to Real Madrid and won the Champions League. He did it against Liverpool, Everton's biggest rivals. Ancelotti coached James at Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Everton. So I know people just say, well, Ancelotti must have liked Rodriguez. But how Everton were able to get Ancelotti and Rodriguez. And that Rodriguez is massively overrated. You guys, right, when you think of Rodriguez, your first thought is his volley in the World Cup. That is what you're thinking of and going, he's class. All right, I thought James was overrated. I'm honest, guys. When I like players, I tell you. I don't know what the big fuss was about James Rodriguez. Obviously, a good-looking lad. I think if he wasn't as good-looking, he wouldn't have been pushed as much. Same with Beckham. To be honest with you, I told you if Beckham looked like Scholes, he wouldn't have gone to Real Madrid. Can I get an amen? David Beckham looked like Paul Scholes, he wouldn't have gone to Real Madrid. Simple. Adam is not only a decoder as he adds a lot of content, he's also on Twitter. Thank you, Divine. Yeah, I'm not just a decoder. I can do many live streams without numbers. I'm not just a decoder. Just one of the things I enjoy doing. Thank you for that. Chris Sutton was rubbish at Chelsea. Chris Sutton. What? Do you remember Darren Huckabee? Anybody? Give me a woo. Darren Huckabee was insane at Coventry. I think he played up front with Dion Dublin. And he was so good. And then I think he went to Leeds and he did nothing. I think he went to the MLS, did nothing. But Darren Huckabee, I remember him. He was lightning. He played like Michael Owen in his prime. But Michael Owen was better. And he just disappeared, did that Darren Huckabee. Anybody remember him? Samir Nasri. Have you seen how fat he is now? Nasri was a player. I used to like watching Nasri. He was a player, man. I was a big fan of him. He was strange looking. Bit of a dick. But he could play. Could that Nasri? He could play. Yeah, the number 9 curse to Chelsea. Exactly. It has to be some form of curse. You can't suddenly just become a bad player. And then they all leave and become great again, like Murada. Goes to Atletico Madrid, he just bangs goals in for fun. Yeah, he played for Norwich as well, did Huckabee. Lingard is in Korea. He had that 1 year at West Ham where he was untouchable. I never rated Lingard ever, apart from that year at West Ham. They put him up front, right? He's not been a striker his career. He's always behind the striker, or they put him out on the wing, Lingard. And I always thought, how did he make it? How did he make it? I used to say that when I was young with Lingard. Then he had that year at West Ham and he was just unstoppable. He was just scoring for fun. And then he went back to Man United. He couldn't even get in the squad. If you're Jesse Lingard and you're killing it at West Ham and you're banging in goals and England want you back, you stay there. He went back to United because they don't have a choice. And then he couldn't start. He couldn't even get in. He's never been like regular player at Man United, Lingard. Rightfully so. I think Mbappe, Haaland, Ronaldo, I think they are just completely possessed. I think they're demonically possessed, is what I think with those players at that level. I really do. That's why they always say they're out of this world about those type of players. There's only a small amount. They're out of this world. They're not from this planet. They're not human. I hear it all the time in the media about these certain players. I think they're possessed. Now, I think most players are just players. And they're completely unaware of anything. They're just playing. But I think those top stars and the top coaches, there's something not right with them, is what I think. Hey, O'Malley. Yeah, Mbappe met Ronaldo as a kid. He was chosen. And Mbappe, we told his whole bedroom was full of posters of Ronaldo. And then Mbappe goes on to play with Messi and then lose to him in the World Cup final when they were both at PSG. Something just not right about it. The whole Kasper Schmeichel and Peter Schmeichel, 2 of them, goalkeepers from a small nation like Denmark, both go on to win Premier League titles and be number 1 for their country. The Schmeichel story is not right. Denmark winning the Euros in 1990 wasn't right. They weren't even supposed to be there. They didn't even qualify for it. Then they won it. That didn't sat right with me. The Neville brothers never sat right with me as a kid. I'm talking about as a kid here. The Schmeichels never did. The Nevilles never did. What else didn't sit right with me? I remember watching Jordi Cruyff. I know his dad was Johan, unbelievable. I was like, he's only there because of his dad. He's shit. So Jordi Cruyff was at United during like when United were amazing, when they won the treble. I was like, why is he there? I'm a kid at this point. He ain't good enough. And then my dad said, yeah, well, his dad's one of the greatest Dutch footballers of all time. I was like, okay, Dad, that's probably why then. I was onto this stuff as a kid. I just didn't really fully know. Mbappe winning the Champions League with Madrid next year, I don't look that far ahead, mate. He's not even signed for them yet, has he? Samaras. Oh, don't get me started on Samaras, mate. The Man City legend, up there with Sean Golder. Samaras did well at Celtic. Is it confirmed he's gone to Madrid? I won't get wrapped up in when a player signs for a big club, like they're going to start winning everything. What if Mbappe does his ACL in his third game for Madrid? Like, I won't get wrapped up in it. You need the code. Mbappe, if he has the code to win it, then okay. If he don't, it's not about talent. It don't matter how good is perceived to be. Everyone raves on about Mbappe's speed. I bet there's a shitload of players in that French league faster than him. Can I get an amen? I bet there's a shitload of incredible African athletes in that French league quicker than Mbappe. But they have to focus on Mbappe's speed all the time. There'll be way more players in that league faster than him. You don't know who they are. Trust me when I say that. They have to tell you how quick Mbappe is. There'll be players quicker than him. Easily in that French league. It's like he touches and runs, doesn't he? And nobody can catch him. But often I've noticed when he does that touch and run, he's going against a fullback that's pretty slow. From when I saw Mbappe play, I caught him. If Mbappe did that touch against Van Dijk, who's winning the ball? If Mbappe did that heavy touch into space against Van Dijk, who's coming out with the ball? It's not Mbappe. It's not Mbappe. It's Van Dijk. Even that other centre half. The other centre half's quicker than Van Dijk. What's his name? Anybody in the chat? I don't care anymore. Because I watched the League Cup final. What's Liverpool's centre half that's playing with Van Dijk? Massive black guy. What's his name? Anybody? I should know this. Konate. Konate is faster than Van Dijk. But nobody's raving on about Konate, world class, lightning quick. He's faster than Mbappe. Watch that Konate play. He is in cruise control. He's basically jogging and he's faster than everybody else. Anybody notice that? Vardy's wife looking extra manly lately. I haven't looked. Vardy broke the record 11 straight games in the Premier League with a goal, and he was born on the 11th day of the year. What a perfect player to break that record, eh? That 11 record by the guy born on the 11th day of the year, who was playing in a division lower than I was playing in England. And he plays for England. Remember his back heel against Germany? Remember he scored that back heel against Germany, guys? That was a ridiculous goal. And that was almost demonic, that goal, if you watch it. And he barely celebrated either. I never got him. Like, sometimes he would sometimes he'd celebrate and go mental. Other times it's just like that. It's like, do you not remember you came from like the 9th tier? You should be like almost crying every time you score in the Premier League if it was genuine. But there was something off about Vardy and Mahrez. Their connection was ridiculous. And they both kind of came out of nowhere. And they killed the Premier League that season. That season alone should have millions of people question professional sports with what Leicester City did with that squad, which was shit. It was really shit. Again, I'll do it. I've done this before. I can't remember the full squad off the top of my head, but they won the league by 10 points. They had Schmeichel, okay, he's a decent goalkeeper. A top 10 goalkeeper in the Premier League when he was in prime, yes. Then they had Danny Simpson, Man United reserve player. Christian Fuchs, nobody knew who the Fuchs he was. The centre-half was Wes Morgan. He was the captain, like Captain Morgan, like the bottle of rum. And then the other centre-half, Was it Harry Maguire? I don't know. I don't think it was Maguire. Who was playing centre half with? Was it Robert Huth? German? It was Huth, wasn't it? All right, steady enough centre half, steady as they come. Couldn't get in at Chelsea. Okay, back up Chelsea centre half. And then midfield, they had Albrighton, screaming championship. All right, Albrighton. Kante, nobody knew who he was. He was playing in the fourth tier of the French league 2 years before. All right, little Kante. He comes in, becomes one of the best players in the league. At least that's what they told us. Then they had Danny Drinkwater, who was ass. All right, but he became like primetime Roy Keane for a season. Then he's a good example. Drinkwater won the league. He was one of the best players for them. He went to Villa and then he disappeared. And everyone like, oh my word, this Drinkwater is shit. How did he win the league? Because it was the code. He was so bad with Villa. He got laughed out of the stadium by Villa fans. Like, who is this guy? Why did we sign him? I thought he was supposed to be good. Awful. But he had the code the year with Leicester. Drinkwater is in the centre. So Albright and Drinkwater, come on, Adam. Obviously, Mahrez was brilliant with Leicester, and I still think he is actually a top player when you watch him play. It just seemed something off about the guy, but Mahrez can play. His touch is ridiculous. Who else was in centre at Park? Was it someone shy? Like, what was his name? Welsh guy. Is their most capped player, I think. What was his name? Welsh guy. Centre mid. It was number 10. Somebody help me out here, guys. Yeah, I've listened to Mahrez talk. There's something off. He's out in Saudi Arabia now. There's just no shock. What's his name? Andy King. Is it King? They had a King at the King Power Stadium. And I think he was there. I think he's their all-time leading goal scorer, Andy King. I really do think he is. And then up front, they had Vardy, who was playing at my level or lower about 5 years before. Or 6 years, I don't know. And they had that Lua, who was shite. Where did he go? They had a Lua, the big dopey striker. And did they have a Japanese guy? What was his name? Okizaki, was it? Help me out. Was it Okizaki? He would always pop up with a big goal. The squad was shit. If that squad went down, there wouldn't have been one person in the world shocked. I think they were the fourth favourite to go down and they won the league. The season before, they stayed up on the last game of the season, I think. And then the season after, they won the league by 10 points and got to the Champions League and did well in it. I think they got to the quarterfinal. Leicester had to pay for the sacrifice Satan came collecting. Yeah, they got relegated 7 years after they won that league. But now they're going to go back up. I coded them to go back up, but they can't win. Literally, my Leicester future, I don't bet, but I was like, okay, there's another future. Who knows how many I've done at this point. And now they can't win. Since I got a bit cocky with it, that's what happens when you get cocky. They've lost their last 3 games. I'm like, any chance? Let me actually check that right before I go. The championship table. Like, I don't know how many points they're off third now. See, oh my word, they're 5 points off third. How many teams are in this? 24. Okay. 24, 40. So they play 46 games. Yeah, it's not a gimme that. There's Southampton. You know, it'll be interesting. This will be wild. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it'll be absolutely insane. The 3 teams that went up, Luton, Burnley, and Sheffield United, could all go down. And the 3 teams that went down, Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton, could all go back up. Now, I bet that's never happened before. We'll have to check that out. Has that ever happened before? The 3 teams that went down go back up. That might be this as above, so below riddle. And the 3 teams that go up go straight back down. Has that ever happened? Yeah, Ipswich did have a big sacrifice. I think I've done a video. Their biggest fan is Ed Sheeran. Ipswich are doing well. They're the tractor boys. They connect to farmers, which connects to famine and food shortages. But yeah, they went up from League One and now they're second in the Championship. And I don't know if they added many players. Birmingham will probably go up because of Brady. Brady's there because of Martin Luther King, who wrote his letter in Birmingham jail. I've done a video about that. Birmingham could go down, which would be interesting. They could literally go down. Rotherham are already done, and then it's close. Stoke City are in the relegation zone. Remember them? I never understood that. Stoke City. A student's just messaged me saying it's crazy how you find all of this. This is a student. I always enjoy it when one of my old students comprehend my work. You know what I mean? Stoke, look at the squad, the shit, and then they could just throw the ball in enough headers. If that's so effective, why don't teams do that all the time? Just find a guy who's got a big throw like Rory Delap, sign Giants, and throw it in box. Tony Pulis, was it? And they would keep staying up, and they had a shit team. And then they bought a couple of stars, which were weird, like Bojan. Bojan was like the next Messi. They made him out to be, and then he's playing in Stoke. They made Bojan out to be the next Lionel Messi. Do you remember that? Do you remember Bojan? Looked like a little choir boy. I don't think City are going anywhere. All right, this whole fair play thing. I know in the last time a massive club got involved in a scandal that got them relegated was Juventus. But that was match fixing, I think. I don't know if there's ever been another time where a monster club like City have been relegated by FIFA. As of now, I think City beat Liverpool. The code I have now, today, is Man City beat Liverpool. But you won't get the full code unless you're on my website because stuff happens during the week. But as of now, City are going to beat Liverpool. For now. Yeah, I think it probably will, Benjamin. The Francis will connect to the Pope as well, the code, and AJ. I'm going to do a code soon, a video about WrestleMania and why Cody Rhodes is headlining it. Give me a woo if you're looking forward to that. I'm going to do a video about WrestleMania and Cody Rhodes. I'm going to finish his story and why it's him, what it represents, why WrestleMania is on 4647 connected to Trump. You're going to enjoy that a lot. Guys, my stomach's a mess. My stomach's a mess. Oh, it's so annoying when you have something so delicious, but your stomach doesn't respond to it. A lot of spice in that Thai shrimp curry, guys. A lot of spice. I was sweating a little bit, but I was enjoying it. I kind of knew shouldn't be adding that spice, Adam. And I was like, just do it. All you're going to do is get the shit. So now I've got them. You know what I mean? I can't be shocked, can I? I can't be shocked. So I'm drinking my water. No, I've ate plenty of food today. I don't need any more food. I need to rest, I think, is what I need. I'll do a bit of work on my website after this. Then I'm going to rest. And my friends coming around, play football. Probably get our asses kicked by this undefeated team. But I'm going to embarrass their team myself, personally. I'm going to just at least get a little thrill out of doing that. All right, I think I've got to go. Yeah, I will, Divine. God bless you. It's great to see you in the chat, Divine. Yeah, I'll break down why the Rocks come back as well, Benjamin. Telling you, wrestling's deeply biblical, and it reveals a lot. And I was a huge wrestling fan, so Okay. Just can you ping that like button right before I go? I know you guys in the chat probably already hit it. Just do me that favor. I'd appreciate it. Peace out, Weefy man. And guys, can you keep Michael in your prayers? Riddler. He's going through a really, really, really tough time with depression and where he is in the world. I'm trying my best to help him. I really am. There's only so much I can say to him. But he's going through a really, really, really tough time. So if you believe in the power of prayer, can you please say a prayer for Michael Hassler or Riddler 11? Is having a tough time. He's from Austria. I've given all of my guidance, but I don't know what else to say to him, to be honest. So if you can do that, I'd appreciate it. All right. I have to go now. All right. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Take care. God wins, and in my next live stream, I'll let you know how this game goes, whatever happens, win, lose, or draw. I'll tell you what happened. And if there's a funny story with the stone ball, I'll be the first to tell you it. You know what I mean? I like those stories, even if it's to my detriment. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Woo!